Wilson Morales from Black Film TV talking to Tracy Heather Strain regarding her documentary on Zora Neale Hurston. Um, Obviously, stranger to her story. What led you to write and direct this documentary?
I was walking the grocery store one day when I got a call from the head of American Experience who asked me, would you like to do a film for us on Zora Neale Hurston? Of course, I had to say yes, because Zora Neale Hurston is someone I wanted to know much more about. I had not read Their Eyes Were Watching God at that time. And I was so honored that they thought of me for this monumental task.
Mm-hmm. And then how much you already knew much about her background, but how much more of a deep dive did you have to do doing this particular project?
I had to do a lot of work. I actually did not know that much about her background. I knew that she was raised in Eatonville, Florida. I knew she had written Their Eyes Were Watching God. I knew some things about her, but the things I learned about her during my research for this film, it was such a privilege to sort of dive into her life and to see what went on to have us be able to have books like Their Eyes Were Watching God. She had a really challenging life after her mother passed away at 13. And I am in awe of what she was able to accomplish during her lifetime after primarily being on her own after the age of 13.
When you're doing the story, how much do you want to put in outside of what people can read on Wikipedia? Like people say the name, they go to Wikipedia, and we want to make sure that we're not just watching a visualness of what you're reading, that we're getting something new here that we haven't discovered before.
Yeah, so when I make documentaries, I really want to take people on a journey and to weave together a story that is emotional. It has its ups and downs, that I want people to connect deeply with the character. I tried my best to present Zora Neale's internal life as much as possible. She's not always forthcoming with her thoughts. In fact, she even says in her autobiography, Death Tracks, this is a paraphrase, I'm not going to tell everyone all my business. So there's that. So we use secondary sources and primary sources to tell the story. But from the beginning, this was going to be a story that included her anthropology. It was going to foreground her role as a social scientist and how that anthropology intersected with her literature, her literary output. And so it was quite a challenge to try to balance those things. Here's the life, here's the anthropology story, and then provide enough context so that you can understand both experiences. Because people look at stories and they impart present day experience and present day life on the viewing. And so when it was really important that people understood it from the past, I had to provide some contextual information as well. So ideally, I hope that it didn't feel like a Wikipedia experience at all.
Was it a challenge finding footage and, putting it together, the stories? And after you put all this stuff together, what do you want people to get out from knowing her story?
Fortunately, I had a team to help me do research. We went to archives all across the nation. I did something I didn't used to do in college, which I read the footnotes to try to find out where people who wrote books found their material. We talked to a variety of experts, and it just came together. It was a process of it winnowing down and seeing where it was emotional and what was compelling, what we thought would be compelling to a general audience. I hope that audiences feel like if they haven't known Zora Neale Hurston, and there's plenty of people out there who, if you say the name, they're like, who? If you don't know her, this is a great entree to her, and hopefully you'll want to, those viewers will want to know more. If you know Zora Neale Hurston, particularly if you know her as a literary figure, I believe this documentary will add a new dimension to, the understanding of how much anthropology played a role in those books that you love so much.
Mm-hmm. And then for yourself, as someone who's done stuff on Zora before, in a way, this is sort of like a pet project. You're passionate about it. You know this very well. You're not learning anything new from get-go. Now that you've done it, what did you learn as a director coming into this that helps you it helps your skill set moving forward to whatever projects may come along in the future?
Well, I actually made a film about Lorraine Hansberry in the past, but I hadn't made anything about Zora Neale Hurston in the past. This is the first time I've dived into her. But from both projects, I've learned that I always think about what it is that I would want to know about the person. And I often feel like what I want to know and need to understand audiences. I've been blessed that I've hit the nail on the head, in many cases, and that what I thought was interesting and what audiences would want to know, that's been the case. And I hope this film is the same, that it's very difficult to make decisions about how to represent someone's life. And I try to use their own words as a guide and try to determine what they think is important, what they've said that is important, and try to incorporate that as much as possible into the narratives I put together.
Lorraine, Zora, obviously there's a pattern here of like, okay, who do you want to do next?
I'm not sure who I want to do next. I actually, well, I have two projects I'm starting to develop. One is about Black people's relationship to water and swimming. And the other one is about John Henry. I'm very excited about thinking about the man, the myth, and the music, because that song, John Henry, is so popular even today. And even Zora Neale Hurston sang John Henry. And so I'm really excited about making films that explore new ways of thinking about the African American experience. And I'm going to experiment with some different storytelling styles. So I'm really excited about that.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you. We'll get this out, let people know, so that way we can look forward to seeing this on TV. And then obviously down the road with whatever project you got coming up. So wherever you're
at. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to add that it's streaming as well on pbs.org the same day that it premieres on television.
We'll make a note of that. Have yourself a good day. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Take care. Thank you so much.